Welcome back to the channel, Soapsters, and in today's tutorial we're going to look at using juices within soaping and how to kind of deal with those juices to be able to use them in soap. Now you can replace your liquid in soap with any juice or other liquid that you want to, and this is how I prepared my carrot juice. So as you can see here, I've got some really nice organic carrots from the allotment of all places. I'm just chopping them up, peeled them down, and then I'm popping them into a blender jug with some distilled water. Now this needs to be distilled water, so you're going to avoid as many dreaded orange spots as you possibly can. And then what I'm going to do is basically whiz this up in a blender to produce kind of this kind of sludgy, mushy muckiness. And then I'm going to actually squeeze this carrot pulp through a muslin cloth, and you can see that I'm getting some beautifully orange carrot juice out of this. If you've got a juicer, you can run it through a juicer, but without a juicer, this is for me the best way of doing it. So you can use a food processor or anything like that. What I've then done is I've frozen my carrot juice. So in the top there you can see that I've got some frozen carrot juice. Now you do need to freeze your juice before you use it in a soap, because the sugars within fruits and vegetables can caramelize, and you'll get an awful smell, and you'll also burn it, and you really don't want that going into your soap. So that was some ice cubes of the desired quantity that I required. I've popped the lye into there. I've allowed that to kind of come down, and you could see that it was around about 30 degrees when it was finally kind of all amalgamated. So in this soap, I've got some grapeseed oil here. I've also got some coconut oil. We're just going to bring all these oils together. There is also some shea butter in this one. Shea butter is a lovely kind of butter to have in a lot of body products. But it can go a little bit grainy if you're using it in non kind of saponified soaps. Lard is going in here. Now, if you are a vegetarian, you obviously want to omit the lard, and then you'll need to run it through a soap calculator without the lard. Now, I do pop a little bit of rapeseed oil in here. You have to be a little bit careful with it, because if it's old, it can go a little bit rancid. So you just watch that one. Cocoa butter is the next ingredient here. And then, of course, you've got some olive oil, which is always a good one. Now, olive oil has become more expensive, so you can replace some of that with sunflower oil, and again run it through a soap calculator. And finally, we've got a little bit of orange mica powder. I thought a little bit of orange mica powder in there just to boost the colour. So you are going to get an orangey colour, but it can be a little bit on the brown side as it goes through saponification. So I've popped a little bit of orange mica in there, and then we add our carrot lye solution, or carrot juice lye solution, into our oils as per usual. And we're going to bring this up to a relatively thin emulsion, a thin trace, just using our stick blender. And you can see here, you're going to get a slight colour change. But again, we've got this really nice bright orange colour. And as I say, a little bit of orange mica in there. And I use Clementine Pop from Resonate, who is a company within the UK. It just kind of boosts that colour back up again, and you get this really vibrant orange coloured soap. So why use a juice in your soaps as opposed to just water? Well, it's a little bit like milk. Juices and fruits and vegetables can have beneficial skin property to them. They can help your skin in many ways, and I quite like carrot because it's a very good, all the beta carotene within it is very nice. However, whether that survives saponification or not is a debate that's always raging. And I always say the soap is going to get you clean. One of the things that will happen is, because you've got additional sugars within the fruit or the vegetable that you're using, and carrots do have quite a lot of sugar in them, these bars will be particularly bubbly when it comes to using them. So that's always a good reason for using things like milks and fruits and vegetables within a soap. The additional sugar will create more bubble, meaning you don't need to have as much castor oil in there, meaning that you don't have to worry about the bubbliness when you produce a recipe, because the additional sugars within that bar are obviously going to make a difference. Those additional sugars, you do have to be a little bit wary of them, because they can speed trace up. So just be a little bit careful with it. But I'd replaced my entire water with juice for this recipe, and you can see that it's staying relatively fluid, and it's a single bar. So there we go, we've unmolded it. Now this particular bar went through what we call a partial gel. So when you see the bars in a little while, and particularly as they went through kind of a little bit more of the saponification and curing afterwards, you'll see a ring of kind of like darker colour in the inside and lighter on the outside, which means that inner centre gelled, so the colour is a little bit more vibrant, and the outer bit didn't gel. Now obviously as you look at these, you'll see some kind of DOS, dreaded orange spots, which is where you've kind of either got some heavy metals or something. Now, these carrots were grown in a garden. They were grown in the soil. There could have been remnants of that left on the carrots as I'd whizzed them up and squeezed them through, and that may have come through and kind of caused a little bit of discoloration and that sort of thing. But they're absolutely fine to use. I'm only using these for personal use. But again, it's one of those things you do have to watch that if you're using anything other than kind of like professionally grown and washed fruits and vegetables, you can cause some little issues in there. So if you're doing this to sell, you may want to use a authorized supplier that you can guarantee the quality of the ingredients that you're using. But we grew these in our allotment, and I wanted to use some of our own fruit and veg from the garden in this particular soap. So let's just do this last little bit. We're going to cut a very small sliver off of this last one, and then I'll bring them back so you can see them laid down, and then in a little bit you'll see them in all of their glory on the turntable. So there we go. It's just a very plain coloured soap. It's just a very simple soap, but again, because you can have those extra sugars and those extra skin loving things within the soap, they're going to be absolutely brilliant for your skin. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow and allows me to make more videos and tutorials for all of you. When you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell icon if you'd like to get notified when a new video is uploaded. And thanks a lot, Soapsters. I'll see you again next time.